Pasi, Anusa Sanu Nu-kihe. I said, hello, my name is Nu-kihe. And we'll discuss that later on when it comes to learning the language. But today is just an introduction video to Nu-kihe, the Nu-kihe thought at least. We'll get further into what Nu-kihe is again later on, but I will give you a little bit so you won't be afraid. It's just the thought process of Nu-kihe is basically in your terms would just mean like all of the land and people from all of the land. Anyway, why am I creating this community? Well, this community I'm creating is because there's a time and place when change is needed. And I believe that we are in a time of change right now, that the world is in a time of change, and that this is a good time for us to start making those changes. And with changes becomes action. As most people know, whether you are religious in any form or facet, you can't just pray or you can't just ask. You have to do action. So this is action. I'm creating a community that is going to help elevate and teach more of the things that I should say that people need in order to excel in life. There's some things that I have just been enlightened to myself in the process of living. Just for example, so you know what the deal is, you get to a point in your life where you think back, and I don't know if everybody does, but I did. And whether it's in a bad point or a good point, I kind of think all the time back, but some people might just do it every now and then. So you get to that point, and at this point I had gotten to it. I was sitting in a pretty good place, the place I'm sitting at now, right? The penthouse. Raising my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter's doing great. Things aren't bad, but I still sat back and looked at the whole world in entirety, and just the whole aspects of people that are in America, Nu-kihe that live in America, that have a decent amount of melanin in their skin tone, and other people that live in America. They still are suffering from things that was just not explained, right? Why does these things still happen? So it got me further thinking and studying and learning. And then through my studies and learning and process myself, I came to the realization, or I came to eye-opening and awakening, however you want to call it, of a lot of things that I did not really know at first, right? And so now I want to put those things into action, and I believe that these things will help other people move forward in life as well. So that's the main point of the community. So the community is going to grow. My main goal is to take this community off of the internet and put it into the real world, because this community we're going to create like we create in the world as well. This is a life. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. I know you heard the language that I spoke. That's a language that was part of the creation. You can learn it. You even can learn how to do it. So this journey is good. It's going to be great. And I'm really encouraging whoever's watching this video now to, as you guys, or as we would say in the American style, like it and subscribe, and please share it. My first goal is to get this community to 1,000 people. So I'm going to share it to my Facebook friends, Facebook friends, and Instagram friends, and all my social media, everybody. That's just saying hi. And I need you guys to like and subscribe if you feel like this is something you want to do or something you want to be a part of. We start there, and then as more time goes on and you learn more, you can make better decisions. But there's got to be a foundation, and this is the introduction to the foundation. I've only been on here for about 5 minutes, so I think I might be able to speak a little bit more. So Anu, people would say God or Allah. As an Nu-kihe, I say Anu, because Anu basically means the source of all things, the source of balance, right? So understanding Anu and understanding the source and balance of things, I went out and I grabbed some dirt off the ground, and I brought it into my apartment, and I got some water, and I poured a little bit of water in the dirt, and I started to mold it up a little bit, and then all of a sudden the dirt became clay. It looked just like Play-Doh, right? So much to where my daughter, who you see in the background, who you're going to see because it's a live show all the time or real uncut, um, thought it was Play-Doh. I even gave her a piece to play with because, hey, it was dirt and water, right? But then all of a sudden, in the process of creating, you know, I knew just sent a lot of reality to my head, right? Just understanding how the elements work, period. Like how the water and the dirt mixed together made the mud. That was a process. That's something that people go to school for today and get paid a lot of money to do. And that's something that we automatically have inside of us. You got to remember Anu or God, whatever you want to call him, or if you're a scientist and you don't believe in that, I mean, all these factors still work together anyway. But you have to remember that the things that we see on the outside are the things that come from within. And that was one of the enlightenments that I've gotten. And I realized, taking that dirt and that water and molding it together to make that clay was a process. And it showed me a lot of things. It showed the process of patience, and the process of creation. Because then you can take that mold of clay and you mold it into something. You make it something useful. It showed me that the ground could be a tool. It showed me that the ground is a tool. It is ours. It is, what everything says. But the other side of it is bala. That's what we call imbalance. And bala comes with the term fear. Now, remember, this language is fresh, so I'm still learning it as well. But fear is balada. Now, learning it upon creation. So, balada and bala. Bala, balada. Same thing, right? But just fear turns into balada. Anyway, this world, when it comes to Anu and the source and balance, everything is balanced. So, of course, there's evil. There always will be good and evil. I mean, that's just how it is. However, sometimes some of the vala comes from balada, from fear. And sometimes the fear comes from something that could be a possibility, but probably would never happen. Quick example, and then I'm going to finish this introduction. Let's just use race, for example, and racism, right? And this isn't with the actual all white, all black thing. We're just talking about the actual racism and race and, the possibilities of where it could have come from. So, we know that what race does and what racism does, but where does it come from? Well, one possibility is that it could come from valada, from fear. When fear of what? Well, fear of a lot of things, but one major thing: annihilation or genocide or just pure being of non-existence. And now I know that some of us can't even fathom that, right? Like, I could never fathom looking 10 generations down the line and thinking that whoever was a descendant from me is not going to be still there in my image, right? Some people, some of our family members of the lesser shade of melanin may have a fear that 10 generations down the line, even though it's still their genetics, they might not look like them. And this fear could grow. It could grow big. It could become evil, and it can become controlling. And I believe that it did, and it has, right? But as an equalizer, as a source of a piece of Anu, once I started to dig deep and understand this is a global situation, of course the answers started to come. And upon that became a creation. The creation was Nu-kihe. It was the Nu-kihe language. It was me molding that stuff, understanding how the four elements work, how they get broken down, because there's so much to learn more from just that, right? From the creation of that to how breaking it down to create other things, how mixing other things makes other things. I mean, like, everything Even this microphone at one point in time was dirt and water. Think about it. So I'm 10 minutes in. And I don't want to get long, but I hope that you stayed. If you did stay, like, share. We want 1,000 people here so we can start building. Our community will have schools to teach our kids. We're going to figure out ways to help when it comes to medical resources and stuff like that. We're going to talk about economical resources on how we can come together and do stuff like that. Also, we're going to get into Nu-kihe and the language and figure out how to become a community, family, and how to build. We're going to learn in a different way. It's going to be great. Thank you all for listening to me. Baraki. Baraki means believe. Believe in this. But Baraki Lanatana means believe in the balance. Just on the fact that I'm speaking a language that I created should give you some feel of essence. And it wasn't the one that was created back in the day between me and my brother Marlo, because that's another language that we created when we were kids. This one it was created based on what we got going on now. So again, Kanula, put my hands up so you know what I'm saying. Kanula, that means thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm sorry, my daughter is screaming right now. But I'm very excited. One more thing, I'm sorry I didn't say this. Coming in here, there's going to be a lot of harsh realities that we might have to overcome. One of them, I want to try to get over it now. And when you hear it, please don't just turn away. Monetization, currency, money. Now, obviously, with the thought process of Nu-kihe in hand, I do also have a whole new currency because, we're growing a community, a real one, just like the other communities that are being grown around. But until that time gets big enough and our economic values are to that point, we have to continue to use the American dollar, whatever currency we have. Therefore, currency has to flow this way. It has to flow this way for the growth and creation. It has to flow this way for the support of that and me. That's just that's how life is. So I'm clear. I want you to know that. I mean, when you go into Walmart and you buy something, please understand that some of that money is going to go to the pocket of whoever's dealing with it, and they're going to use it for whatever. So don't think of it in no other way. But we're keeping our stuff clear here so you know how it's going to be. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Nu-kihe. Nu-kihe means goodbye. Talk to you guys later.